1 year after Alfonso's death, Lucrezia's father arranged for her to marry Alfonso d'Este, Duke of Ferrara. Now that Lucrezia had been married previously and had a child, there were a few conditions that were made in order for the marriage to take place. One of those being that Lucrezia would have to leave her child behind in order for Ercole d'Este to agree to let her marry his son. You could just imagine how devastating this was for her, and unfortunately, she was never able to see him again. Rodrigo, her son, died at the age of 12. Lucrezia married Alfonso d'Este in September of 1501 when she was 22 and he was 26. He wasn't even present at the time the marriage contract was drawn up and completed. Celebrations were held in Rome without him in honor of the marriage, and Lucrezia spoke of how eager she was to get to Ferrara to be with her new husband. On January 6, 1502, dressed in a robe of gold and crimson thread, and accompanied by her brother, she left Rome for Ferrara to make a new life for herself. On her journey, her new husband surprised her outside of Ferrara to greet her, making a thoughtful and romantic first impression on her. He was very intelligent, loved the arts, and was a gifted musician. Lucrezia arrived on February 2nd, 1502, and made her way through the streets with a welcoming procession. She was dressed in a robe lined with ermine fur, and around her neck she wore a stunning diamond and ruby necklace. It took some time for Alfonso's family to make her feel welcomed. Alfonso's sisters were Isabella d'Este and Beatrice d'Este, Duchess of Milan. However, Beatrice had already passed away. It's said that Isabella had spies that would report to her anything that Lucrezia did, and Isabella would even write letters complaining about Lucrezia, from things as little as to how long it took her to get ready, to how much time she spent washing and caring for her hair. And there were even arguments between both fathers as to how much Lucrezia's monthly spending allowance should be, forcing her to retreat to a local convent and away from negotiations. In April of 1502, she became pregnant with their first child. It was a difficult pregnancy, and she suffered through many illnesses, oftentimes not expected to survive. In September, she gave birth to a stillborn daughter. During this time, Lucrezia suffered from miscarriages, putting a strain on her health, but ultimately gave birth to 8 children, 4 of whom made it to adulthood. Lucrezia began an affair just a year after her marriage with Isabella d'Este's husband. They often exchanged love letters that gave a glimpse into their very passionate love affair. Soon after that, she started another love affair with a poet who was a great admirer of hers. By April 1503, when she was 23 years old, she began exchanging love letters and poems with a poet named Pietro Bembo. The relationship was said to have remained platonic but lasted 16 years according to the letters.